Senda Monteverde in Costa Rica, and also Arenas del Mar and Manuel Antonio on Costa Rican's coast. Before I get started, just wanted to clarify, I won't be stopping to answer questions throughout the presentation, but if you have anything that I didn't cover or just curious about something, use either the Q&A feature at the bottom of your screen or the chat. What I'll do is at the end, I'll compile everybody's questions into one document and share those questions and answers with everyone who's registered, so we all can benefit from that knowledge. So Senda Monteverde and Arenas del Mar are two properties managed by the Cayuga Collection. And these two destinations in Costa Rica combine for a great itinerary, especially for people traveling to Costa Rica for the first time. The environments are very different from the highland cloud forests of Monteverde to the rainforest and coast that you have in Manuel Antonio. And you can combine them without any flights. That's often a question that we field from people is, where can I drive to in Costa Rica? Because clients do not want to use either the small aircraft or helicopters. So these two can be combined by car. They're also extremely family friendly. So very conducive to families with children of all ages, as well as being nature hotspots. Cayuga Collection, that's a hotel management company based in Costa Rica. So these hotels are very sustainable. That's always been at their ethos. So no single-use plastics. They source all of their ingredients for food locally. A lot has been done on the properties for conservation and preservation of the forests and the fauna. Cayuga is involved in planting over 4,000 trees in Costa Rica this year, and they do that a lot on the sites where their hotels are. They also employ 100% local, employ year-round. That doesn't always happen at all of those resorts in Costa Rica that have a lot of seasonality, especially the larger properties up in Guanacaste. And they're all quite involved with educational projects in schools, in the communities that they operate within. A lot of times they're doing kind of nature education for the kids. The guides at the properties will actually go in and lead classes a few times a month. So overview of Costa Rica. Monteverde is here. San Jose International Airport is right here. Arenas del Mar, Manuel Antonio on the coast is here. You'll see that there's a small airport, Quepos, in Manuel Antonio. That's a 20-minute flight from San Jose to Quepos. Monteverde does not have an airport, and you cannot fly helicopters there due to the winds. So it's really driving access only. And Monteverde, the name means green mountain, and it's a green oasis amidst the plains of Costa Rica's northern Pacific. So up here, after Monteverde, it turns into coastal dry forest and gets much hotter. And this area, it's along the Continental Divide, and you have influence both from the Pacific, the winds coming from that side, and then the heat and the humidity of the Caribbean. So these influences, they've created a really unique environment up in Monteverde, which is home to 6 different ecological zones. It's definitely a must visit for wildlife enthusiasts, particularly birders. There's a couple of bird species here that are quite rare. The resplendent quetzales was that turquoise bird with the long tail that was in the first slide. The 3-wattled bellbird is another one. There's nearly 30 species of hummingbird found in the area, but those are only a selection of more than 400 birds that are found in Monteverde. As I said, it straddles the Continental Divide. These are the hanging bridges through one of the ecological reserves. That's a really popular, easy, I think maybe it's 3 miles total to walk the series of bridges and trails, but it's an awesome experience being up there at canopy level. This is obviously a clearer, sunnier day. Oftentimes you're kind of surrounded by mist, and it's very surreal walking along the bridges. But Monteverde straddles the Continental Divide, so it's quite high in elevation compared to elsewhere in Costa Rica. It's about 4,600 feet above sea level, or 1,400 meters, and it's cooler year-round than a lot of other destinations you would be in. Daytime temps average low is in the mid to low 60s, and the high can be in the 80s degree Fahrenheit, or oscillating between kind of 19 and 26 degrees Celsius. You are in the cloud forest. There's a lot of precipitation, so it's one area in Costa Rica that you want to tell your clients, always pack a rain jacket, and even an extra layer like a puffy or a thick fleece and pants is very appropriate here. I like it because of the variety that it adds to an itinerary. I can only do like hot tropical humidity for 5 or 6 days at a time. So going up to the mountains for me is great. Area also has a really interesting history. It was of course, there were local farmers and towns here, but Santa Elena and Monteverde, it's really tied into the Quakers, a group of Quaker pacifists who were conscientious objectors to the Korean draft. 11 families actually moved from Alabama to the San Jose, Costa Rica area in 1950, and they were attracted to Costa Rica's climate, the agricultural potential, but they were especially attracted to the fact that Costa Rica had just disbanded its military. So they could live peacefully here. They settled in Monteverde. Scientists started coming to the area to do research because of this unique biodiversity. And in, I believe, the late 60s or early 70s, they actually worked with the Quaker community that had purchased the land and created one of the first of the reserves in Costa Rica. As I mentioned, it adds a great variety to a Costa Rican itinerary. You have the hiking through the cloud forest, the hanging bridges, lots of coffee farms, obviously all the birding, cacao production, so chocolate is popular in the area, great horseback riding through the green hills, and there's also a kind of a fun culinary scene with a lot of local cheese production, growing craft beer scene. So that complements the surfing, the zip lining, the waterfall rappelling you might do lower down in Manuel Antonio. That being said, zip lining, rappelling, all of those things are also available in Monteverde. So travel times, connecting it within Costa Rica. From the San Jose airport, it's less than 3 hours, and that's approximate. It can depend on traffic. I've arrived at Monteverde from San Jose and quickly, as in like 2.5 hours. From the Liberia airport, it's 2.5 to 3 hours approximately. Driving from Manuel Antonio, it's 3 to 3.5 hours. Great highway, easy highway driving, except like the last 40 minutes. I think it's like about 20 kilometers where the road is gravel. You can also connect Arenal with Monteverde. You can either drive around the lake. A better option is to work with your DMC and put your clients on a private boat across Lake Arenal. That can be a really fun way to combine those destinations. And another great option that I've just learned about recently is horseback riding. You can do a partial car transfer and then do like a half-day horseback ride between Monteverde and Arenal, and then transfer to where you're staying in Arenal. So just some quick Google Maps giving you where they are and drive time. So this, if you were to drive, all in one day, you wouldn't do this, but San Jose to Monteverde, Monteverde to Arenas del Mar, that is just 6 hours in the car. And the other option would be coming in from the Liberia airport, kind of like this because you're not backtracking. Hit Monteverde first, stay 2 or 3 nights, then come down to Arenas del Mar and Manuel Antonio. That is, I would recommend 4 nights there at least for families. Enough time to take advantage of all the activities in the area, but really chill out and enjoy the beach. And then from Manuel Antonio, if they're okay with a flight, you could take the 20-minute flight from Quepos to San Jose, or you can just drive. And this is a great option. Their vans, they'll make them up like beds in the back for kids or for adults. I was given a duvet and pillows. So if you have a late flight from San Jose, you could leave Arenas del Mar in the evening after dinner, sleep on the way very comfortably, and in no time you're at the airport ready to board your flight home. So Senda Monteverde Hotel is newer. It opened last year, or in 2018, excuse me, and it is the former Sapo Dorado Hotel. So it's about a 10-minute walk from the town of Santa Elena, if that, maybe even 5 minutes, all downhill. And it was purchased by John Aspinall. He's the owner of Costa Rican Sun Tours, a pioneer in ecotourism in Costa Rica. But he's let Cayuga completely manage it, so they don't have a special relationship with the hotel. And it's just a great location because of it's outside of town, but it's walking distance to the Orchid Garden, to a variety of restaurants. The rooms, there's 24 rooms and suites in these freestanding little cabins. So generally you'll have 2 units sharing 1 wall in a cabin. It's great for independent travelers, for families. They also take small group bookings for up to 6 rooms. So especially for your nature tour groups, it's a great option. Walking distance to restaurants, you're only a 15-minute drive from most of the popular attractions, including the hanging bridges, skywalk, zip lining. Senda Monteverde does have their own private guides. So if your clients don't want to overprogram anything before arriving, they can just work with a concierge and arrange their travel on site. That being said, certainly not advised during festive or peak booking dates when things might be sold out. There's a restaurant, bar, and lounge on site. They've planted little coffee plantations throughout the property. They've planted over, I think, close to 2,000 native trees and plants, so you have a lot of wildlife coming to the property. But one of the coolest things is this, it's adjacent to the Agouti Reserve. This is a private nature reserve that's accessible from the Monteverde property via a series of trails and hanging bridges. So for your hiking clients who just want to get out and move and not have to be guided, this is a really great option for them. This is the hanging bridge on the property. I think Agouti has about 3 miles of trails, and this is clients of or guests of Senda have complimentary access to the reserve. So early morning, evening, they can get out, stretch their legs, and go for a hike, see a lot of wildlife and all of the different trees and plants that Monteverde is known for. All of the room options at Monteverde have private small terraces that are covered. Great place to take in your morning coffee. And the property's on a slight hill. The highest categories, the Senda Suites and a couple of the other suites, have a view looking down to the Gulf of Nicoya. Really beautiful area to watch sunsets in particular. The property isn't gigantic, so it's easy to walk around, but they do have golf carts available for transferring luggage for clients, and certainly your clients can call if they have mobility issues, if they'd rather have a cart. And they do have one suite option that is wheelchair accessible as well. This is the main clubhouse, and it's where El Sapo restaurant is. They have a lot of activities here that are complimentary for guests. They do bonfires in the evening with marshmallows or happy hour drinks for adults. They have yoga upstairs in this nice, this is actually the room that's on the top floor. Beautiful, bright room. They bring a yoga instructor in a couple days a week that's complimentary. They do a lot of fun activities for kids, little cooking classes. This is paper making, where they shred and soak all of the paper they use on property, soak it, and then put it through a blender and mix it with flowers and herbs grown in the greenhouse. And so, especially for kids, it's fun. They can make their own paper, take home a souvenir from Monteverde that way. El Sapo restaurant is a really popular area among Monteverde locals. So the bar and restaurant is almost always busy. Again, a great place to take in the sunset from here. And they have a meal plan program. I wouldn't say this is necessary for people's families just staying 2 or 3 nights, but if you work with groups, adding on this half-board option can be a really good idea. And that's all available. This will be on the Dropbox link that I'll send you after the webinar's over. And then accommodations at Senda. We'll go through the different room categories. Superior room, this is going to be entry level. 1 king size bed, full ensuite bathroom with shower. That's in every single room. Has this covered terrace, but fixed king bed. And these don't have a couch. The seating area is much smaller here. So again, these are the entry level rooms. This is typically what our group tours are blocking, are these superior rooms. Premium suite is the next one up. 2 adults and 1 child. The main difference here is the premium suite. You can accommodate a child on a sofa bed in the living space, but there's no divider between where the king bed is or where the living space is. The junior suites, these are probably, there's 10 of these, and I think these are my favorite rooms because the bedroom is completely separate from the living area through its own door. So for parents with an older child, maybe 3 adults traveling together, this can work really well with someone sleeping on the king bed, which converts into a day bed or sleeper sofa, the fixed king bed in here. Also, these rooms have, you have 2 bedding configurations. They can either have 1 fixed king or 2 twin beds. Bathroom, which is accessible via the living room, and then the private terrace. It's the living room, and this converts into a separate bed. All of the room options also come with Wellingtons, with hiking sticks. They have rain slickers available in the lobby and binoculars that you can take out and rent. There's birding and wildlife guides in all of the rooms, reusable water bottles, and they do hot water bottles with turn down service at night, which I absolutely love. It makes your bed nice and cozy. And then for families, so up to 4 adults and 2 children, the Senda suites are the best option. These are at the highest point of the property. They have awesome 180-degree views over the gardens, looking down to Santa Elena into the Gulf of Nicoya. One of the bedrooms has a king bed. The other one has 2 twins. And then there's also a sofa that can be converted, into another bed. And 2 separate terraces with a shared entryway. It's not, Monteverde in general is really different than Arenal, both in terms of having true cloud forest, whereas Arenal is lower down and is better known for the volcano view, which on a clear day you can see from the Continental Divide, and also the geothermal pools. Monteverde does not have the hot springs, but it has true amazing cloud forest. It's also not a resort destination, whereas Arenal is much more built up. You have larger resorts that have, large manicured grounds, 100 of different room options, multiple pools. Monteverde is a much smaller, kind of more authentic town experience. So really it's, talking to your clients, what do they want? Do they want that like Niagara Garden Springs resort? Do they want cloud forest? Do they want something smaller and boutique? So the destinations pair well together. But if you're trying to help your clients decide between one and the other, it's really the cloud forest space versus volcano and hot springs, and then really the style of the accommodation option. But newest property in Monteverde, by far the nicest, most modern. It's like we describe it as a cozy mountain lodge. It's very comfortable. And there's a green season promotion going on. It's pay 2, stay 3 nights from April 20th to December 20th. You can expect mist and rain year-round at Monteverde. Typically, though, your sunniest, driest days are going to be from December through March. Okay, moving on to Arenas del Mar and Manuel Antonio. Again, great little driving combo with the triangle here. You can take a quick flight. It's 20 minutes from Quepos, probably about 35 minutes from the Liberia airport. And Arenas del Mar, I'm going to go through this one a little bit quicker. The property's, I think it turned 11 this year, and it has the best location in Manuel Antonio. It is the only luxury hotel that is right on the beach, and Arenas del Mar has beach access to 2 different beaches. Playitas Beach, which is here. I'd say this is a private beach with an asterisk because there are no private beaches in Costa Rica, but there's a rocky outcropping that really blocks access to this beach, except via the hotel. It's really only accessible to the public at the lowest tide. And then you have Espadilla Beach, which is this long sandy expanse that goes all the way to Manuel Antonio National Park, which is the main draw for the area. It's the most popular national park in Costa Rica because of the amount of wildlife and how visible it is. And for kids, it's so great because you can go on a mile-long hike and see squirrel monkeys and white-faced capuchin monkeys and howler monkeys and incredible birds. And Manuel Antonio, Arenas del Mar has 4 of their own guides. They are some of the best wildlife guides I've ever been with. Super enthusiastic, great with kids. you know, they'll pull out the spotting scope on a minute's notice and show them like a sloth with a baby overhead that you had no idea was there. But you don't have to go to the park to see all of this wildlife. Arenas del Mar sits on 11 acres of protected rainforest, so you have a lot of the same wildlife on the property as you do in the park. And you'll see on their Instagram, there's constantly people filming monkeys on their balconies, trying to get into the minibar. There's a couple different walking trails. Playitas is the beach here. This is the semi-private beach, and then Espadilla Beach is down here. And how I like to describe Arenas del Mar is it's kind of like a good gateway between moving from an international brand resort property to something smaller. It's on 11 acres. The property has 2 pools, 2 restaurants, fitness classes, yoga classes, a wellness center, but there's only 36 rooms and suites, so it's much smaller feeling. It is on kind of a hilly, rolling property with some rooms up on a ridge and some right down on the beach, but they have electric golf carts to get people between the rooms if they don't want to walk. They also have a little surf and stand-up paddleboard club, which is on Espadilla Beach, where they have their own instructors to give surf lessons. Again, I mentioned the natural guides, which are incredible. Lots of complimentary on-site activities for kids and adults, from mask painting to a behind-the-scenes sustainability tour to tree planting. So a lot to do on-site, but Manuel Antonio is also this like activity central in Costa Rica, from zip lining and canopy tours to canyoneering, mountain biking, snorkeling, deep sea fishing. That's all happening right here. So definitely, I think 4 nights is almost the minimum you'd want to stay here. Main highlight that opened last year is this new family suite. It's called Playitas Suite in Arenas del Mar, and it can fit up to 6 people. And it's located down in the Playitas area. So this building number 12, so there's 7 of these buildings, each is 3 stories, and the rooms are situated on either level 1 through 3. So if you are in level 2 or 3, your clients will have to walk a very short series of stairs to access their suite. But it is the Playitas suite is the 2nd level of this building 12. And what they did is they took, each floor plan is identical, where you have a suite and then a superior room. And the categories differ based on the view. Is it a full ocean view? Is it a partial view? And instead of having those 2 rooms separate, they knocked them all out and connected them and created this great 2-bedroom suite. One of them has a fixed king bed, that's the master, and then the 2nd room has 2 full queen beds. Each of the bedrooms has their own ensuite bathroom, and then there's this shared living space. This is only one side of it. This would be like you walk down this hallway, turn left, there's this kind of kitchenette and sitting area, and then the entrance to the bedroom with the 2 queens. On the other side of this room, there is a trundle bed. So you additionally have 2 twin beds that they can set up in the living space. So great for families or groups of friends who want to share like that. Has a partial view. Playitas Beach and the beach club are right down here. It's literally like a 3-minute walk from your room, if that. And then the terrace has a jacuzzi, and this wraps all the way around with direct access from the bedrooms. So that is a great option. They only have 1 of these Playitas suites right now. I'm not sure if they plan on building more. But otherwise, at Arenas del Mar, you have the suite categories, which are either direct ocean view, which you see here, or a partial ocean view, which is known as an ocean breeze. That's where you'll see the water through the trees. All of them have a bedroom with a fixed king, and then they have a living space with a trundle bed. And then you also have ocean breeze superior rooms and ocean view superior rooms. All of them are just then the king bedroom and then this balcony access. So for families of 3 or your higher end clients, I always encourage advisors to book one of the suites. This is one example of a configuration of those without the bedroom being completely separated. And all of the suites have kids 11 and under are free of charge when sharing with an adult. So that's a great added value. And they come with a complimentary mini bar, really good, like chocolate covered pineapples and plantain chips and a variety of juices. That's always complimentary. It's restocked every day. And that can be a great savior from, hangry meltdowns after you come back from an activity and maybe, it's taking a while to get to dinner. Just give them some of the healthy snacks in the mini bar. So it's a really good value for families. The property offers a lot. The new the Mirador lobby and pool area was all redone last year. It looks absolutely gorgeous. This is an indoor-outdoor space where you'll have the concierge. This is where you go after you check in. At the bottom, they take you to a golf cart up here. They have a lot of kids' activities on site. I think I mentioned the mask painting. They have bracelet making. They do different themed food nights. Different movies and naturalist talks geared towards kids. But all of this, so larger resort features, but on a much smaller property since you're with just 36 rooms. Arenas Del Mar has a pay 4, stay 5 night promotion. That's between April 20th and December 20th. Those promotions, they're called our green season values, and those are applicable to rack rates only. You'll notice online sometimes both of these properties have best available daily rate discounts based on availability, especially for booking in the short term. So you can work with the sales team at Cayuga. This is Felipe, who's the sales manager on the left. Carolina's in the center, and Cindy is on the right. They're based in San Jose, Costa Rica. They handle reservations, especially travel industry reservations for all of the Cayuga hotels. And they can help you determine what is the better value for your clients based on the season and their length of stay. The way to contact them is travel at the name of the hotel. That's all here. But also Costa Rica, work through your DMCs, especially piecing multiple destinations together or chartering flights or trying to do something like combining Arenal with Monteverde with that horseback riding. That's all going to be best to work directly with your DMC partners who know the countries inside and out.